Well, good morning, everybody. This is Tish, just doing what you do with Miss Tish, subdivision gardener. I am in my garden, as you can see, and today is a wonderful morning. I've been out here for a while, but the morning is we got a breeze in the air. It's not as hot yet. Real nice morning. You know that fall is on go and it's coming soon. I feel it in the air. I feel that the season of summer is going to be coming to an end, but we're going to still have some hot months ahead of us. This is just the beginning of August. This is August 1st, and I'm out here in my garden. I come out every day unless it rains drastically and I can't come out. But other than that, I come and check and see how everything is, pick a little bit of berries or some ground cherries or whatever is in my garden. But today is a day of checking and pruning and cleaning my garden floor, tarp area. My garden floors are nasty. It need to be cleaned. So I'm gonna be out here cleaning that as well as cutting, taking up the old cucumber plants. I'm gonna be doing that. Um, I'm not gonna mess with the beans too much right now because I'm allowing the beans to go to seed and it drying up. Excuse me. So if you don't pick any of the beans anymore, anything, the flowers won't come. No more fruit will come. So I'm allowing it to dry up and all the flowers. 'Cause I got enough beans from the asparagus, and I will tell you about those. I don't know. I'm gonna plant them anymore. I think I'm gonna do some other type of beans, a pole bean that I buy from the store. Those type of beans. So Blue Lake beans or something. I'm gonna do some of those. So anyway, I'm not gonna mess with that, but I will be cutting back the cucumber. Tomatoes are okay. If I see any pruning, I will be doing that. And I will be, if I have time, I'll put my dried coffee grounds on the garden. But I think I'm gonna do all that tomorrow with the fertilization time tomorrow. So right now, that's what I'm gonna be doing: clean the garden. I'm gonna take you along with me, showing you what I do, cleaning the garden, cleaning the garden floor, and taking up the cucumber vines today. So I will be doing a voiceover for you because I like to listen to Audible, and I like to listen to my Bible reading, and I love my plants to get the word as well in. So I will be doing a voiceover for this video, and I hope you enjoy the scenery of my garden and all what I'm doing in the garden. All right, let's get to it. Good morning, everybody. Before I got started on taking down the cucumber vines, I noticed that in my squash bed, I needed to prune some of the squash leaves and the plants. It was turning yellow and had some damaging parts and everything within this squash bed. I have been really working on this squash bed. This is the second round. Haven't got too much out of the first, and the second it don't look like I'm getting any. But I am still working at it, making sure the stuff is clean and taking out the old and the yellowing of the branches or leaves, the stems from there, and also just clean that bed out while I'm doing a deep cleaning of the garden itself. So if you see me not working on the cucumber vine, that's what I'm doing. I'm in that squash bed, cleaning it out, getting it ready, and helping it to get more productive in that garden. And don't forget that, if you hear any Bible reading in the background, I do listen to the Bible reading Audible on Audible books. Um, I do listen to that in my garden while I'm working in my garden each morning to get my Bible reading in, as well as allow the plants to be able to hear the Word of God as well.
He made the sea of cast metal, circular in shape, measuring 10 cubits from rim to rim, and 5 cubits high. It took a line of 30 cubits to measure around it. Below the rim, gourds encircled it, 10 to a cubit. The gourds were cast in 2 rows in one piece with the sea. The sea stood on 12 bulls, 3 facing north, 3 facing west, 3 facing south, and 3 facing east. The sea rested on top of them, and their hindquarters were toward the center.
Now you can see
It
I'm
was a
getting
half
into
circle
that
shape,
cucumber
and its rim was like the
plants in
length of
these
a
two
funnel.
beds,
Like a lily
round
pond,
containers.
it held
Um,
3,000
Getting all
petals.
the cucumber,
He also made
if
10
I have any
rows of
cucumbers on
stands
there,
of
I'm taking them
bronze.
all first.
Each was
And
4
then I'm going to go
inches
ahead and
long,
pull this up.
4
It is
wide,
done.
and
The
3
season is
high.
over for these.
This is how the
As you can see,
stands
we
were
got a lot of
made.
yellowing and
They had
dead
side banners
leaves, and
attached to
they're
umbrellas.
done.
On the
If they're going to
banners were
produce any other
celebrations of
cucumbers, they're
life.
going to be very small
And cherubim
and
held the uprights as well.
never go up to the
Above and
full
below the large
term of their
bulls
life.
were 3
So it's
pieces of
just time
paneling.
to take out to
Each
put new
stand had
in.
4
And I
rows.
did replant it in these two
Columns
beds right
and
here. I
each
did put
canopy
in some
rested
other
toward
seeds.
the
So I
center.
have at least about two
And
plants in
stood
each
on
one
top.
of cucumbers. I'm going to
On the
see
inside,
how it goes, see
there
if
were
they're going to end up
6. They
producing
had a
more
circular
cucumbers for
frame,
the
1
next
inch
leg of the
thick.
year, of this
This opened to the
springtime,
ground, and
of this
each bed
spring
measured a
garden
cubit and a half.
season, spring and
Around the
summer. So
perimeter,
we'll see if we
there
get
was a
any more
space.
cucumbers
The
before
sides
I
of the stands were
trans
square and round. The
before I
four
pull it up
stands were under the
to
panels.
start my
The
fall
axles of
garden.
the wheels were attached to the stands. The diameter of each wheel was a cubit and a half. The wheels were made like chariot wheels. The axles, rims, spokes, and hubs were all of cast metal. Each stand had 4 handles, 1 on each corner, projecting from the stand. At the top of the stand, there was a circular band half a cubit deep. The supports and panels were attached to the top of the stand. He engraved cherubim, lions, and palm trees on the surfaces of the supports and on the panels in every available space, with wreaths all around. This is the way he made the 10 stands. They were all cast in the same mold and were identical in size and shape. He then made 10 bronze basins, each holding 40 baths and measuring 4 cubits across, 1 basin to go on each of the 10 stands. He placed 5 of the stands on the south side of the temple and 5 on the north. He placed the sea on the south side, at the southeast corner of the temple. He also made the pots and shovels and sprinkling bowls. So Huram finished all the work he had undertaken for King Solomon in the temple of the Lord. The 2 pillars, the 2 bowl-shaped capitals on top of the pillars, the 2 sets of network decorating the 2 bowl-shaped capitals on top of the pillars, the 400 pomegranates for the 2 sets of network, 2 rows of pomegranates for each network decorating the bowl-shaped capitals on top of the pillars, the 10 stands with their 10 basins, the sea and the 12 bulls under it, the pots, shovels, and sprinkling bowls. All these objects that Huram made for King Solomon for the temple of the Lord were of burnished bronze. The king had them cast in clay molds in the plain of the Jordan, between Succoth and Zarethan. Solomon left all these things unweighed, because there were so many. The weight of the bronze was not determined. Solomon also made all the furnishings that were in the Lord's temple: the golden altar, the golden table on which was the bread of the presence, the lampstands of pure gold, 5 on the right and 5 on the left, in front of the inner sanctuary, the gold floral work and lamps and tongs, the pure gold basins, wick trimmers, sprinkling bowls, dishes, and censers, and the gold sockets for the doors of the innermost room, the most holy place. and also for the doors of the main hall of the temple. When all the work King Solomon had done for the temple of the Lord was finished, he brought in the things his father David had dedicated, the silver and gold and the furnishings, and he placed them in the treasury of the Lord's temple. Then King Solomon summoned into his presence at Jerusalem the elders of Israel, all the heads of the tribes and the chiefs of the Israelite families, to bring up the ark of the Lord's covenant from Zion, the city of David. All the Israelites came together to King Solomon at the time of the festival in the month of Ethanim, the 7th month. When all the elders of Israel had arrived, the priests took up the ark, and they brought up the ark of the Lord and the tent of meeting and all the sacred furnishings in it. The priests and Levites carried them up, and King Solomon and the entire assembly of Israel that had gathered about him were before the ark, sacrificing so many sheep and cattle that they could not be recorded or counted. The priests then brought the ark of the Lord's covenant to its place in the inner sanctuary of the temple, the most holy place, and put it beneath the wings of the cherubim. The cherubim spread their wings over the place of the ark and overshadowed the ark and its carrying poles.
Your servant prays towards this place. Hear the supplication of your servant and of your people Israel when they pray toward this place. Hear from heaven your dwelling place, and when you hear, forgive. When anyone wrongs their neighbor and is required to take an oath, and they come and swear the oath before your altar in this temple, then hear from heaven and act. Judge spreading out their hands toward this temple, then hear from heaven your dwelling place. Forgive and act. Deal with everyone according to all they do. Since you know their hearts, for you alone know every human heart, so that they will fear you all the time they live in the land you gave our ancestors. As for the foreigners who do not belong to your people in Israel, but have come from a distant land because of your name, for they will hear of your great name, and your mighty hand, and your outstretched arm. When they come and pray toward this temple, then hear from heaven your dwelling place. Do whatever the foreigners ask of you, so that all the peoples of the earth may know your name. As to your own people Israel, and may know that this house I have built bears your name. When your people go to war against their enemies, wherever you send them, and when they pray to the Lord toward the city you have chosen, and the temple I have built for your name, then hear from heaven their prayer and their plea, and uphold their cause. When they sin against you, for there is no one who does not sin, and you become angry with them and give them over to their enemies, who take them captive to their own lands, far away or near, and if they have a change of heart in the land where they are held captive, and repent, and plead with you in the land of their captors, and say, we have sinned, we have done wrong, we have acted wickedly. And if they turn back to you with all their heart and soul in the land of their enemies who took them captive, and pray to you toward the land you gave their ancestors, toward the city you have chosen, and the temple I have built for your name, then from heaven, your dwelling place, hear their prayer and their plea, and uphold their cause, and forgive your people who have sinned against you. Forgive all the offenses they have committed against you, and cause their captors to show them mercy. For they are your people and your inheritance, whom you brought out of Egypt, out of that iron smelting furnace. May your eyes be open to your servant's plea, and to the plea of your people Israel, and may you listen to them whenever they cry out to you. For you sing singled them out from all the nations of the world to be your own inheritance, just as you declared through your servant Moses when you, sovereign Lord, brought our ancestors out of Egypt.
When Solomon had finished all these prayers and supplications to the Lord, he rose from before the altar of the Lord, where he had been kneeling with his hands spread out toward heaven. He stood and blessed the whole assembly of Israel in a loud voice, saying,
Praise be to the Lord who has given rest to his people Israel, just as he promised. Not one word has failed of all the good promises he gave to his servant Moses. May the Lord our God be with us as he was with our ancestors. May he never leave us nor forsake us. May he turn our hearts to him to walk in obedience to him and keep the commands, decrees, and laws he gave our ancestors. And may these words of mine, which I have prayed before the Lord, be near to the Lord our God day and night, that he may uphold the cause of his servant and the cause of his people Israel, according to each day's need, so that all the peoples of the earth may know that the Lord is God, that there is no other. And may your heart be fully committed to the Lord our God, to live by his decrees and obey his commands, as at this time.
Then the king and all Israel with him offered sacrifices before the Lord. Solomon offered a sacrifice of fellowship offerings to the Lord, 22,000 cattle and 120,000 sheep and goats. So the king and all the Israelites dedicated the temple of the Lord. On that same day, the king consecrated the middle part of the courtyard in front of the temple of the Lord. And there he offered burnt offerings, grain offerings, and the fat of the fellowship offerings, because the bronze altar that stood before the Lord was too small to hold the burnt offerings, the grain offerings, and the fat of the fellowship offerings. So Solomon observed the festival at that time, and all Israel with him, a vast assembly, people from Lebo Hamath to the Wadi of Egypt. They celebrated it before the Lord our God for 7 days and 7 days more, 14 days in all. On the following day he sent the people away. They blessed the king and then went home, joyful and glad in heart for all the good things the Lord had done for his servant David and his people Israel. When Solomon had finished building the temple of the Lord and the royal palace, and had achieved all he had desired to do, the Lord appeared to him a second time, as he had appeared to him at Gibeon. built up Lower Beth Horon, Baylor, and Padmore in the desert within his land, as well as all his storm cities and the towns for his chariots and for his horses. Whatever he desired to build in Jerusalem, in Lebanon, and throughout all the territory he ruled. There were still people left from the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. These people were not Israelites. Solomon conscripted the descendants of all these people remaining in the land, whom the Israelites could not exterminate, to serve as slave labor, as it is to this day. But Solomon did not make slaves with any of the Israelites. They were his sight men, his government officials, his officers, his captains, and the commanders of his chariots and charioteers. They were also shore of the Red Sea. And Hiram sent his servants, sailors who knew the sea, to serve in the fleet with Solomon's servants. They sailed for Ophir, and brought back 420 talents of gold, which they delivered to King Solomon. When the Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon and his relationship to the Lord, she came to test Solomon with hard questions. Arriving at Jerusalem with a very great caravan, with camels carrying spices, large quantities of gold, and precious stones, she came to Solomon and talked with him about all that she had on her mind. Solomon answered all her questions. Nothing was too hard for the king to explain to her. When the Queen of Sheba saw all,
I will not tear the whole kingdom from him, but will give him one tribe for the sake of David my servant, and for the sake of Jerusalem, which I have chosen.
Then the Lord raised up against Solomon an adversary, Hadad the Edomite, from the royal line of Edom. Earlier, when David was fighting with Edom, Joab, the commander of the army, who had gone up to bury the dead, had struck down all the men in Edom. Joab and all the Israelites stayed there for 6 months, until they had destroyed all the men in Edom. But Hadad, still only a boy, fled to Egypt with some Edomite officials who had served his father. They set out from Midian and went to Paran. Then, taking people from Paran with them, they went to Egypt, to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, who gave Hadad a house and land and provided him with food. Pharaoh was so pleased with Hadad that he gave him a sister of his own wife, Queen Taphanes, in marriage. The sister of Taphanes bore him a son named Genubith, whom Taphanes brought up in the royal palace. There Genubith lived with Pharaoh's own children. While he was in Egypt, Hadad heard that David rested with his ancestors, and that Joab, the commander of the army, was also dead. Then Hadad said to Pharaoh,
Let me go, that I may return to my own country.
What have you lacked here that you want to go back to your own country?
Pharaoh asked.
Nothing,
Hadad replied.
but do let me go.
And God raised up against Solomon another adversary, Rezin, son of Eliada, who had fled from his master, Hadadezer, king of Zobah. When David destroyed Zobah's army, Rezin gathered a band of men around him and became their leader. They went to Damascus, where they settled and took control. Rezin was Israel's adversary as long as Solomon lived, adding to the trouble caused by Hadad. So Rezin ruled in Aram and was hostile toward Israel. Also, Jeroboam, son of Nebat, rebelled against the king. He was one of Solomon's officials, an Ephraimite from Zeradah, and his mother was a widow named Zeruiah. Here is the account of how he rebelled against the king. With 3 minas of gold from the king, the king put them in the palace of the forest of Ephraim. Then the king made a great throne inlaid with ivory and overlaid with fine gold. The throne had 6 steps, and its back had a rounded top. On both sides of the seat were armrests, with a lion standing beside each of them.
my chosen who obeyed my commands and decrees. I will take the kingdom from his son's hands and give you 10 tribes. I will give one tribe to his son, so that David my servant may always have a lamp for me in Jerusalem, the city where I chose to put my name. However, as for you, I will put you and you will rule over all the nations. You will be king over Israel. Do whatever I command you and walk in obedience to me and do what is right in my eyes by obeying my decrees and commands. As David my servant did, I will do it. I will build his dynasty as enduring as the one I built for David. I will give Israel to you. I will humble David's descendants because of this, but not forever.
Solomon tried to kill Jeroboam, but Jeroboam fled to Egypt, to Shishak the king, and stayed there until Solomon's death. As for the other events of Solomon's reign, all details and the wisdom he displayed, are they not written in the book of the Annals of Solomon? Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel 40 years. Then he rested with his ancestors and was buried in the city of David, his father, and Rehoboam, his son, succeeded him as king. Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had gone there to make him king. When Jeroboam, son of Nebat, heard this, he was still in Egypt, where he had fled from King Solomon. He returned from Egypt. So they sent for Jeroboam, and he and the whole assembly of Israel went to Rehoboam and said to him,
Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but now lighten the harsh labor and the heavy yoke he put on us, and we will serve you.
Rehoboam answered,
Go away for 3 days, and then come back to me.
So the people went away. Then King Rehoboam consulted the elders who had served his father Solomon during his lifetime.
How would you advise me to answer these people?
He asked. They replied,
If today you will be a servant to these people, and serve them, and give them a favorable answer, they will always be your servants.
Rehoboam rejected the advice the elders gave him, and consulted the young men who had grown up with him and were serving him. He asked them,
What is your advice? How should we answer these people who say to me, lighten the yoke your father put on us?
the young men who had grown up with him replied,
These people have said to you, your father put a heavy yoke on us, but make our yoke lighter. Now tell him, my little finger is thicker than my father's waist. As my father made on you a heavy yoke, I will make it even heavier. My father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions.
3 days later, Jeroboam and all the people returned to Rehoboam, as the king had said, come back to me in 3 days. The king answered the people harshly, rejecting the advice given him by the
what the Lord said. Do not go up to fight against your brothers, the Israelites. Go home, every one of you, for this is my doing.
So they obeyed the word of the Lord and went home again, as the Lord had ordered. Then Jeroboam fortified Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim and lived there. From there he went out and built up Peniel.
He burned on you.
That same day the man of God gave a sign.
This is the sign the Lord has declared. The altar will be split apart, and the ashes on it will be poured out.
When King Jeroboam heard what the man of God cried out against the altar at Bethel, he stretched out his hand from the altar and said,
Seize him!
but the hand he stretched out toward the man shriveled up so that he could not pull it back. Also the altar was split apart, and its ashes poured out according to the sign given by the man of God, by the word of the Lord. Then the king said to the man of God,
Intercede with the Lord your God, and pray for me, that my hand may be restored.
So the man of God interceded with the Lord, and the king's hand was restored and became as it was before. The king said to the man of God,
Come home with me for a meal, and I will give you a gift.
but the man of God answered the king,
Even if you were to give me half your possessions, I would not go with you, nor would I eat bread or drink water here. For I was commanded by the word of the Lord. You must not eat bread or drink water, or return by the way you came.
So he took another road and did not return by the way he had come to Bethel. Now there was a certain old prophet living in Bethel, whose sons came and told him all that the man of God had done there that day. They also told their father what he had said to the king. Their father asked him,
Which way did he go?
and his sons showed him which road the man of God from Judah had taken. So he said to his sons,
Saddle the donkey.
and when they had saddled the donkey for him, he mounted it and rode after the man of God. He found him sitting under an oak tree and asked,
Are you the man of God who came from Judah? I am.
he replied. So the prophet said to him,
Come home with me and eat.
the man of God said,
I cannot turn back and go with you, nor can I eat bread or drink water with you in this place. I have been told by the word of the Lord, you must not eat bread or drink water there, or return by the way you came.
the old prophet answered,
I too am a prophet, as you are. And an angel said to me by the word of the Lord, bring him back with you to your house, so that he may eat bread and drink water.
but he was lying to him. So the man of God returned with him and ate and drank in his house. While they were sitting at the table, the word of the Lord came to the old prophet who had brought him back. He cried out to the man of God who had come from Judah.
This is what the Lord says. You have defied the word of the Lord, and have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. You came back and ate bread and drank water in the place where he told you not to eat or drink. Therefore your body will not be buried in the tomb of your ancestors.
When the man of God had finished eating and drinking, the prophet who had brought him back saddled his donkey for him. As he went on his way, a lion met him on the road and killed him, and his body was left lying on the road, with both the donkey and the lion standing beside it. Some people who passed by saw the body lying there, with the lion standing beside the body, and they went and reported it in the city where the old prophet lived. When the prophet who had brought him back from his journey heard of it, he said
the man of God. He defied the word of the Lord. The Lord has given him over to the lion, which has mauled him and killed him, as the word of the Lord had warned him.
The prophet said to his sons,
Saddle the donkey for me.
and they did so. Then he went out and found the body lying on the road, with the donkey and the lion standing beside it. The lion had neither eaten the body nor mauled the donkey. So the prophet picked up the body of the man of God, laid it on the donkey, and brought it back to his own city to mourn for him and bury him. Then he laid the body in his own tomb, and they mourned over him. And he said,
Alas, my brother!
after burying him, he said to his sons,
When I die, bury me in the grave where the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. The message he declared by the word of the Lord against the altar in Bethel and against all the shrines on the high places in the towns of Samaria certainly comes true.
even after this, Jeroboam did not change his evil ways, but once more appointed priests for the high places from all sorts of people. Anyone who wanted to become a priest, he consecrated for the high places. This was the sin of the house of Jeroboam that led to its downfall and to its destruction from the face of the earth. At that time, Abijah, son of Jeroboam, became ill, and Jeroboam said to his wife,
Go, disguise yourself so you won't be recognized as the wife of Jeroboam. Then go to Shiloh. Ahijah the prophet is there, the one who told me I would be king over this people. Take 10 loaves of bread with you, some cake and a jar of honey, and go to him. He will tell you what will happen to the king.
So Jeroboam's wife did what he said, and went to Ahijah's house in Shiloh. Now Ahijah could not see. His sight was gone because of his age. But the Lord had told Ahijah,
Jeroboam is coming to ask you about her, for he is here, and you are to give her such and such an answer. When she arrives, she will pretend to be someone else.
So when Ahijah heard the sound of her footsteps at the door, he said,
Come in, wife of Jeroboam. By this pretense, I've been sent to you with bad news. Go tell Jeroboam that this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I raised you up from among the people and appointed you ruler over my people Israel. I tore the kingdom away from the house of David and gave it to you. But you have not been like my servant David, who kept my commands and followed me with all his heart, doing only what was right in my eyes. You have done more evil than all who lived before you. You have made for yourself other gods, idols, metals. You have aroused my anger, thrust me behind your back. Because of this, I am going to bring disaster on the house of Jeroboam. I will cut off from Jeroboam every last male in Israel, slave or free. I will burn up the house of Jeroboam as one burns dung, until it is all gone. All those belonging to Jeroboam who die in the city, and the birds will feed on those who die in the country. The Lord has spoken. As for you, go back home. When you set foot in your city, the boy will die. All Israel will mourn when he is buried. He's the only one belonging to Jeroboam who will be buried, because he is the only one in the house of Jeroboam in whom the Lord, the God of Israel, has found anything good. The Lord will raise up for himself a king over Israel who will cut off the family of Jeroboam.
Okay. Well, I have finished the project for the day. I have already tore down the cucumber vines. No more cucumber. Even the ones that I have replanted, they was not doing so well, so they had to go too. I think one or two was in over there because they were real small. But the rest of them didn't look too well, so I had to pull them up too. So those beds will be amended soon to get ready. Ooh, I'm out of breath. To get ready for the fall brassicas in there. I'm not for sure where I'm gonna put in that yet, but I am gonna mend that soil to get ready for some brassicas to go in there. Not sure yet what I want to put in there, but in a couple weeks I will be potting up my brassicas. I'm not going to put it in my garage because my garage is hotter than outside. I am going to leave it underneath this tent and cover it with some protected netting I have. And I'm going to put the white table here and put the brassicas here, or do it in a bucket, and then I don't want to do it that way. I'm going to do it in my little cup so I won't have to take them all apart, and put it on the table and cover them up with the netting. But I will be having them outside underneath the tent, and probably in the back over there where the get more shade for the herbs. So I think that will be a great spot, two great spots for the brassicas starts, and until they're ready to get planted out from 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks to get planted out. So I'm gonna go ahead and take you on a tour of what the garden space look now since I have cleaned it up. Okay, well, this is the garden space from underneath my tent at the moment, and I'm showing you how the space look from where the tent was at up around here. You see how I love my garden floors to be clean, because I want to be able to see if anything is crawling, if anything is on it, or what, because I want to be aware of my surroundings. That's why I didn't put anything on the tarp or anything. So one thing I did do to help with shading on this side of the garden the help was this tree. I trimmed it back when I first got here, and it have grown since then, and I trimmed it back so I can have a clearing in between the 4 trees. And every year when the fall comes and all the leaves be gone, I end up trimming it and see if it need to be pruned back. Like this limb right here, where's it at? Right there, that limb, it'll be cut back some and it'll grow back out more bushier. So it gave me more shade over here in my herb garden. But you see how well it's not perfect, but the flooring is much better than it was. Much better than it was. I can see, you see I have pulled out everything over here. I think it's marigold inside of there, but all of that is pulled out. And I see that even when I water, it seemed like it still wasn't getting enough water in the beds. And I drenched the water. I need to let it sit a little bit longer, but I think I'm going to put an irrigation in these for the brassicas at the beginning point probably, and then I would just take it out because it wouldn't need as much, or I might keep it in there for fertilization. And so you can see, and also I took out the velcro strips and also some of the clamps that was on those trellises. Look at my cantaloupe. And so the flooring look awesome. It's not perfect, but it look awesome. And you see these beans going to seed. Isn't it something? Ooh, I always say they look like snakes. I don't know about next year. But I am going to collect the seeds on that, so I can be a blessing to someone else that want to try them. Okay, and so I'm going to walk on through a little bit. And as you can see, the flooring look awesome. Flooring look awesome, awesome, awesome. They have a couple of cucumber plants up in here I put up in there. We'll see how they go. I probably pull them out. I did water these beds, but the show don't look like it's even got enough water in them. Right here is my sweet potatoes. And they look like they were dying back, but then they're still growing. Had flowers on one a couple times, but it's not time. At the end of this month, it'll be time for to pull them up. But not right now. I don't see them dying back enough. They gotta die back. Squash bed, I pulled back some of the, it was just, powdery mildew and just all over them. They look nice. I mean, it just was bushing out, looking beautiful, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing more of those things eating it up. But I do see some fruit. See, fruit. I think that's a cuckoozy squash. I really think so. And I see another one growing on there, up there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, right there. And then I have some little yellow squash down here that is growing. If you can see them, where's it at? Right there. So hopefully I get a couple of squash and everything. Still having problem with squash and zucchini this year, but next year I'm gonna do better. I am gonna work on it, and I still have a couple of watermelons growing. One there, one in between there, one right here, and one down there. Them beans are something else, but the floor looks so awesome. That's why I wanted to show you how the floor looks. And I'm so pleased. I'm very pleased at the garden area. It is nice and clean. Everything is pruned, clean, watered. So, hey, I have did my task for today. I thank you all for tuning in to just doing what you do with Miss Tish, subdivision gardener. And I'm going to sit down for a couple seconds, just admire this awesome garden. Put you down for a second. Admire this awesome garden that I have cleaned the floor of the garden, even my area over here. And I thought I would need to bring my blower over here to blow inside of here, but I don't think so. I don't think I really need to blow in here because it looks so well. I might do it, but I don't think I need to because it swept very good, very well in here. Excuse me. So I am done for today. That is going to be it for right now. That was my task and what I'm going to do today. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna enjoy my day. I had a cup of coffee. I didn't make cold coffee because I didn't have any ice today. So I made me a hot, but it's kind of warm. And I decided to get my Dubai cup. You know, take me back. This is the first time I used this cup. And these are some places that we went to in Dubai. And look at it, we saw a lot of these things that's in here. So this is cool coffee right now. And I just put one of those, my mason jar lids right in the top of it so it can keep bugs out of it. Hey, babe. And also I pulled me out some ground cherries. And so I was eating some of those too because I haven't had breakfast this morning. So I probably eating lunch when I go in. But it's so nice out here. So this is Tish just doing what you do with Miss Tish, subdivision gardener. I am preparing, getting my garden beds ready, getting my flooring looking nice in here. Oh, I see some beans, some bush beans hanging over there that I need to pull. So I'll be going and taking care of those. Good. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Be blessed.